March 18, 1944. 10:42 a.m. Over central Germany, 22,000 feet above the clouds. A P-51 Mustang shudders as its engine pushes hard. The cockpit vibrates. The pilot grips the stick. His oxygen mask hisses with every breath. Below him, the earth is a gray blur. Ahead, black dots grow fast. Tracers cut the sky, bright, sharp, fast. A German fighter flashes past the nose, too close. The pilot jerks the stick. Metal screams. Wind howls around the canopy. The Mustang rolls left. The pilot steadies his aim. He squeezes the trigger. 6 machine guns erupt at once. The sound is heavy and violent. The nose bucks. Shell casings tumble into the sky. Smoke trails streak forward. At the same instant, a small camera bolted inside the wing comes alive. The camera does not feel fear, does not blink. It records everything. Bullets rip into the enemy aircraft. Aluminum tears open. Smoke bursts from the engine. The German fighter snaps into a dive and vanishes into cloud. The pilot exhales. His hands shake. He does not know it yet, but somewhere far away, men will watch this fight frame by frame. They will slow it down. They will study every second. This moment is only a fragment of a much larger story. If you want more stories like this, make sure to subscribe, like, and share. By 1942, the air war over Europe had become brutal and unforgiving. Bomber losses were high. Fighter claims were disputed. Pilots argued over who shot down whom. Commanders needed proof. The solution came from a simple idea: put a camera where the guns are. American engineers adapted compact 16mm film cameras for combat aircraft. These gun cameras were linked directly to the firing circuit. When the pilot pressed the trigger, the camera ran. Early models recorded only a few seconds of film, usually 20 to 30 seconds at most. That was enough. A dogfight rarely lasted longer. The cameras were mounted in the wings or near the gun ports. They looked straight ahead, aligned with the gun sights. Whatever the bullets saw, the film saw too. The United States Army Air Forces wanted more than evidence. They wanted training data. They wanted to know why pilots missed. They wanted to see real combat, not classroom diagrams. American fighters like the P-47 Thunderbolt and P-51 Mustang flew at speeds over 400 miles per hour. Engagements happened fast. Pilots had seconds to react. A camera could freeze those seconds. German forces had experimented with cameras earlier, mostly for reconnaissance. Few German fighters carried gun cameras during the early war years. Many German aces relied on personal reports and witness claims. American doctrine pushed standardization. Every squadron followed the same rules. Every claim needed film when possible. By late 1943, gun cameras were becoming common across American fighter units, escorting bombers deep into enemy territory. At first, many pilots hated them. Early gun cameras added weight. It took space inside already crowded wings. Mechanics complained about wiring failures. Pilots worried the cameras would jam their guns. Some cameras failed in cold temperatures. At high altitude, film became brittle. Lubricants thickened. Cameras sometimes froze after a few seconds. Training accidents happened. Pilots forgot the cameras were live. They fired during practice runs and wasted precious film. Others forgot to turn safety switches back on. There was also pride. Many pilots believed their word should be enough. One report from 1943 noted a captain saying, "I don't need a camera to tell me what I shot." Enemy pilots mocked the idea. Captured German airmen later recalled hearing that Americans needed proof like lawyers. Early footage was often disappointing. Many films showed poor aim. Long bursts fired from too far away. Bullets passing behind targets. Hits that looked solid but caused little damage. Commanders used this footage to challenge inflated claims. In some units, confirmed victories dropped by nearly 30% once cameras became standard. Morale took a hit. One pilot wrote in his diary, "The camera sees what you wish it wouldn't." But the same footage that embarrassed pilots also taught them how to survive. Slowly, patterns emerged. Instructors gathered pilots into briefing rooms. They ran the films again and again. They paused on keyframes. They pointed to bullet strikes and misses. Pilots learned they were firing too early, too far, too long. And they learned that short bursts worked better. It's that closing 200-300 yards or less made a difference. That deflection shooting required calm timing. Gun camera films showed how American fighters could exploit their strengths. The P-51's speed allowed quick entry and exit. The P-47's rugged build absorbed damage that would destroy lighter aircraft. Pilots saw how diving attacks increased hit probability. They saw how staying above the enemy gave control. One instructor summarized it simply: let the film teach you. Kill rates improved. Ammunition use dropped. Pilots survived longer. The cameras also revealed enemy weaknesses. German fighters bled speed in tight turns. Some engines smoked heavily after minor hits. Fuel tanks ignited under concentrated fire. The footage turned chaos into data. By early 1944, experienced pilots asked for their films immediately after landing. They wanted to review their own fights. They wanted to get better. What began as a tool for proof became a weapon of learning. April 8, 1944. Near Brunswick, a group of 12 P-51s escorts bombers toward a factory complex. German interceptors rise fast, 20 fighters, mostly veterans. A German ace dives through the escort. He fires once. A Mustang rolls away, trailing smoke. Another American pilot sees the attack. He pushes his nose down. His camera activates as his guns fire. The film later shows the German aircraft filling the frame, wings flexing, pilot steady. The burst lasts 2 seconds. The enemy fighter explodes. The German pilot never knew he was filmed. June 6, 1944. Normandy skies. Low cloud. Rain showers. Visibility is poor. American fighters roam ahead of the invasion beaches. A pair of P-47s spots enemy aircraft trying to reach the coast. The fight drops to 5,000 feet. Tracers streak through rain. One pilot fires while pulling hard Gs. The camera shakes violently. Film later shows blurred frames, then sudden clarity. German fighter clips the ground and cartwheels into a hedgerow. Footage is used that same evening to brief new arrivals. This is how fast it happens. December 23, 1944, the Battle of the Bulge. Snow covers the ground. The air is clear and deadly. A lone American fighter patrols low. He spots a German aircraft attacking supply columns. He dives from the sun, fires at close range. The camera captures every hit. The German aircraft disintegrates. The American pulls up hard to avoid trees. Later, intelligence officers study the film. They identify markings. They confirm unit movements. The camera becomes more than a witness. It becomes intelligence. As the war progressed, gun camera footage flooded archives. Thousands of reels, millions of frames. Factories produced cameras by the tens of thousands. Mechanics installed them as standard equipment. Film stock became a supply item alongside ammunition and fuel. Training programs changed. New pilots watched real combat before flying it, learned from strangers who never met them. American units could verify claims faster than their enemies. Disputes dropped. Accords became cleaner. German forces struggled to match this system. Fuel shortages, limited training, film and cameras were scarce. Many German pilots still relied on memory alone. By 1945, American air units flew hundreds of thousands of sorties. Gun cameras documented a significant portion of them. The industrial machine behind the cameras mattered. Without mass production, the idea would have failed. The camera did not win the air war by itself, but it sharpened every pilot who used it. For German pilots, the idea was unsettling. Captured airmen spoke of disbelief. "They filmed us," one said. "It's every move." Some German aces realized their own mistakes only after seeing American footage during interrogations. Long turns, predictable attacks. Overconfidence. Rumors spread. American pilots were said to review films like athletes studying plays. It affected morale. Knowing mistakes could be recorded added pressure. Knowing the enemy studied you added fear. One German diary noted, "They know us better than we know ourselves." Late in the war, gun cameras improved. New models resisted cold. Film length increased. Some cameras captured color footage. Mounting positions improved. Alignment became more precise. Reliability rose. Pilots began experimenting. Some used cameras to record ground attacks. Others used them to analyze formation flying. The camera's role expanded beyond kills. It recorded failures, too. Hard landings, near misses. close calls. By 1945, few American pilots wanted to fly without one. After the war, analysts reviewed the footage for years. Tactics evolved. Training manuals changed. Air combat entered the modern age. The camera stayed. By the end of World War II, American gun cameras had recorded thousands of confirmed victories and countless lessons. They reduced false claims, improved survival, accelerated learning. One German veteran later said, "They did not just fight us, they studied us." The legacy of the gun camera is simple and lasting. It turned fleeting moments of chaos into permanent truth.